Hello Cancer and welcome to Coleman Tarot. My name is H.E. Coleman and this is going to be your reading for the month of July. Here you go. I am using the Illuminati deck for anyone who, I know some people want to know which one it is. Okay, here we go. We have the Nine of Swords. We have the Ten of Wands. We have the Eight of Swords. Ooh, these two together. I can see why you guys are worried. Okay, then we have the Ace of Swords. Nice. Then we have the Seven of Swords. Then we have the Lovers. Then we have, as your obstacle, Judgment. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Okay. And these are the things that are going to be hidden from you right here. So, this is your pathway. These are the things you're meeting along the way. These are the things that help or hinder you, your obstacle, your outcome, and what's hidden from you. So, we're starting off for you, Cancer, with the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is about being very worried and concerned. You're staying up at night worrying about all of these things. Now, a lot of these things are just in your mind. They're just worries, and worries, sometimes they never come to fruition. Sometimes you worry about stuff and it never happens. So there's a lot of stress and worry over stuff, some of which could happen, some of which could not, some of which is just all in your mind, okay? So you're staying up and having some stress and some worry. And that's probably coming in from, it's right at the beginning, so it's probably coming in from stuff that you had in June that you're worried about or going towards the future. Okay, here we have the Eight of Swords, and the Eight of Swords is about feeling trapped. So these two together is not a good combination, obviously. This is you feeling like you're trapped and you're worried and you feel like there's no solution. But the thing is, with the Eight of Swords, there's always a solution. There's always a way out. If she took off her blindfold, which is usually fear, in my mind, the blindfold is usually fear that's stopping you. If you take off the blindfold, you can just walk forward. She could just walk forward. All of these swords are not really cutting her, and a lot of these swords are not really going to happen. Okay? You just need to walk past the swords. All right? So, it's a lot about overcoming fear. These things are about overcoming fear and worry. Now, over here you have the Ten of Wands. This is a lot of work. This is why you're feeling stressed, and this is adding to the whole thing where you're just feeling stressed and anxious and maybe working a lot because you're worried about money in the future and stuff like that. So this is a lot of work. All right, and sometimes you wouldn't even see all of these worries and concerns if you weren't working so hard and stressing out. So you're going to need to find a way to get away from this for even just for an hour or 15 minutes a day and just meditate or quiet your mind or do something fun or watch funny YouTube videos. A lot of times that can just help you to overcome the fear and the stress, okay? Laughter is the best medicine in a situation where you have like tons of fear and stress. All right, this is a lot of work. The good news about this is with all this work is that usually the Ten of Wands means that you're about to put it down. You're about to put some of these projects down and release some of these burdens, okay? That's like the maximum amount of burden you can have before you start putting stuff down. So that means you're about to start putting stuff down. Here in the middle of your reading, you have the Ace of Swords. And this is clarity. This is the beginning of success and victory, which can be probably like maybe putting one of these things down. You're finally finished. Then this is like the light at the end of the tunnel, okay? This is where you have clarity. You finally realize, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And you finally could have a project that's finally finished, and you can say, now we're going to move forward with success. This is a card for clarity and success, the beginning of victory. All right? And you can see that the cloud is kind of there's a cloud there, and the cloud is going to start to part, and you're going to be able to see things more clearly. So if you're worried about things that you can't see, and you're saying, I wonder what's going to happen, then you're going to be able to start to see on the horizon, okay, this is what's going to happen. Now I know where it's going. All right, then we have, helping or hindering, we have the Lovers and the Seven of Swords. Now the Seven of Swords always reminds me of somebody stealing someone's heart. Somebody who's getting very, very sneaky, they go in and they steal someone's heart. And then you have the Lovers, and these are helping or hindering. Now, with this card above this card, this is saying that you've got a lot of work to do, and you might be a little bit sneaky about it. You might be kind of sneaking things, doing things on the rush, and because you have so many things going, you might be sneaking things in. You might be doing kind of a half-assed job, so to speak, just to get them done because you have so many things to do. This card is about somebody who is, they're winning, like they win the day and they get the stuff, they gather the stuff, they accomplish what they set out to accomplish, but at the same time they're being a little bit sneaky about it. That's why I say you steal someone's heart, or you steal the stuff and you go to victory. You have the stuff. Yes, you accomplish this, but you have to do it in the dead of night. You have to you have to be a little bit sneaky, or you have to be a little bit backhanded, or you have to do something original that other people aren't expecting. You're not really following all the steps to get where you're going to go. You're kind of like bypassing it. All right. Then you have the Lovers. The Lovers is a wonderful card, but when it's above this card, it just makes me feel like I'm a little bit worried that somebody might be trapped in a situation where they either, it's one of two things. Either they're feeling trapped in their romantic situation that they can't get out, or they can't see a solution, or they are feeling, which is more the Devil card, or they are feeling like they want to have this lover situation, but they can't get there because they're so trapped with work. You're so trapped in your social obligation, like your work career obligations, that you can't get to this point where you're with your lover, or you're enjoying your life to the point where you feel like you're in love with life. You can't get there because you've got all these worries and fears about the future, and you're feeling like, I got to get all this stuff done. All right. Then your obstacle is Judgment. The Judgment is, this card is about karma. Okay. And this card is about feeling like others are judging you, or that you are judging others. This is an obstacle. So be careful when you're stressed and you have all these worries and concerns about the future and you're working really hard. Be careful you don't take it out on other people, because that also can be why you have the Lovers as a help or hindrance. Because this can be, as a help, it can be that you have all these stresses and you say, you know what, my romantic partner is the person who helps me to not feel stressed because I see them and I feel happy and whatnot. But for a lot of people, the majority of people, when they're stressed, they take it out on their partner. And you can't do that, okay? You can't do that, because that's your partner that's going to feel trapped with you. So if you're feeling stressed and angry, do not take it on your partner, because that they can also, you can turn it around and have them be a help. Instead of you taking your stuff out on them, you can go to them and say, look, I'm really stressed and I'm going to take 15 minutes out, try to watch some funny videos, get in a good mood, then hang out with you, and it's going to be such a great thing in my day, instead of fighting with that person, and then that's another stress you have to add to your burden, that now you have relationship problems, okay? That's the Judgment card. You need to be careful that you're not judging them too harshly, or turning it around and having other people judge you and saying, I don't know if I want to be with this person anymore because they're being a real jerk. Okay. So if you have stress, just maybe if you have to, cut some corners, but be careful doing that with your job and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, find a way to de-stress, because that will lead to this being a help instead of a hindrance. And your outcome is the Wheel of Fortune. Now it's upside down, which doesn't mean that your fortune is going to go down. Because if you're already feeling stressed and overworked, your fortune will be changing, and you'll be getting out of that. You're going to be able to put some stuff down. You're going to be able to walk away and say, I've done this. I've got my stuff done. Now I can focus on the opposite of that. Now I can focus on taking a break, going on a little bit of vacation, or spending time with my lover, my partner, and not being so stressed out. The fortune's going to be changing. If it's upside down, it doesn't necessarily mean that your fortune is going to be upside down. It just means that it's not going to be such a big dramatic change. It's a little bit less of a change. I don't see your fortune as turning a downward turn. I see it as being the opposite of what you have at the beginning of the month. And the beginning of your month looks like very stressful. It looks like you have a lot of stuff going on. Now, granted, a lot of it's in your mind. Okay, it's not as bad as you're making it out to be. Yes, you have a lot of things to accomplish, whether it's work or just getting stuff ready with the family, or you just have like a lot of paperwork, or you have a lot of, even if you're going on vacation, there's still a lot of stuff to plan and stuff like that. There's a lot of like getting ready and booking stuff, and it's a lot. And if you're not on vacation, then you might be waiting desperately to get there because you're saying this is a lot of work. But since that's at your beginning of your month, when your fortune changes, it's going to be going towards less of that. It's going to be going towards the opposite of that. All right? I see you as being, this is what I see. I see stress, and then I see a little bit of alleviation when you have these things, and then I see the fortune. So it's going to be less. It's going to be, things are going to be getting much better after this point, after the middle of your month. Then you'll have some release. You'll be finished some stuff. You'll have some clarity. So it's like stress and then release and then good stuff at the end where you have this, the fortune. Okay? Now I'm going to get your fate card. Basically, it's going to start heavy, and then it's going to be halfway through. You're going to get some clarity. You're going to get some relief, and then you're going to be having a different fortune. You're going to be having things will be easier. Okay. Jealousy. You've got the Medusa. Jealousy leads to downfall. Okay? Now, that's where your Judgment card comes in. And that's where you have this thing where the Lovers can be help or hindrance. Okay? Jealousy leads to downfall. What this is saying is that if you see other people, it doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic situation where you say, oh, that person's like looking at my partner, or I'm looking at this, and then my partner comes back and catches me wondering about this person. For most of you, it's not going to be about the relationship. For most of you, it's going to be being jealous of other people and what they have, and saying, why don't I have this? Why are other people like gathering all this stuff and not me? But you will be. You will be. This is going to be you. You're going to be gathering stuff. But with the Judgment thing and the jealousy, you're going to see other people and say, why are they on vacation? Why do they have all this stuff and I don't? So you don't need to worry about that because you are going to be getting that stuff, but don't let it lead to your downfall. All right? Don't let it be this thing where you're up at night and saying, I wish I had this and I'm worried that I'm not going to be as successful as my sister, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Don't let your judgment of other people be the thing that traps you, all right, or stresses you out. Because no matter how great, if you look at somebody else and you say, oh, they have a perfect life, they have all this money, they have all these vacations, they have all this like stuff, you don't know what they have and what they don't have. Even if they have stuff, you don't know what's going on in their life. They could have a disease. They could have somebody who's close to them that's dying. They could have any number of terrible things happening. They could have their boyfriend or husband just left them, or their girlfriend's cheating on them. You don't know. You don't know what somebody else has. Everybody has their stuff. You don't know just because somebody has more than you that they might have more problems than you. Okay? Now, your spiritual card is the Deer. Okay? And this is gentleness and diplomacy. Gentleness and diplomacy. That's your spiritual card for the month. And that has to do with the Lovers as well, where you're like, you don't want to be stressing out on people and freaking out on people. If you have a little bit of stress or a lot of stress at the beginning, it's only at the beginning of the month. If you have stress at the beginning of the month, I want you to just find a way to de-stress so that before you hang out with your family, before you hang out with your partner, because that way when you hang out with them, it will be a wonderful thing instead of a more burden. Okay? So that is going to be your reading for the month. I hope you have a wonderful month. Remember, if things seem stressed at the beginning, your fortune is changing, and things will be, by the end of the month, things will be a lot smoother and a lot less stressed because you're going to complete some of these projects. And when they're done, then that'll be something that somebody else will be jealous of you because they'll say, how did they finish that? How did they do that thing? Okay? And you're putting in the work at the beginning of the month so that you can relax at the end. Have a great month.